Hi, I'm Kate Bowen, and I'm a big fan of the Yolo County Archives. The archives have been a game changer for me in my work with local teachers. Thanks to the support and expertise of the archive staff, local teachers have developed age-appropriate lessons and activities for their students, using primary sources like historical images, letters, and maps from the archives collection. Using real artifacts, students learn the stories of the people who shaped our county, providing a direct and meaningful connection to the past. The Yolo County Archives brings the rich history of Yolo County to life for today's students.
I love the Yolo County Archives because they have a wealth of information, including historic documents and historic photographs. I think the more we know about the history of our community, the more we feel connected to it. Thank you so much to Rachel and Heather for all of your assistance throughout the years as I've come into the archives to do research. I do love you. I love you, Yolo County Archives.
I love the Yolo County Archives because of their commitment to creating a welcoming space and fostering curiosity. It's actually from going to this county archive and conducting research there that made me realize just how important it is to preserve and collect our history in order to just discover all of the many stories of the people that came before us that made the county what it is. And it's the reason I am now trying to become an archivist and want to do the same thing for other communities and spaces all around California.
Hello, I'm Jim Hanney, and for the past 4 years I've had the privilege of volunteering with the Yolo County Archives. Since becoming a volunteer at the archives, I've become tremendously impressed with the huge volume of information that the volunteers and staff are responsible for documenting, preserving, and storing. I'm currently working on the tax records for the Yolo County Assessor's Office from the 1800s. And while doing so, I found tax records for my great-grandfather James and his brother William. For those who have been interested in genealogy and family history, that kind of information is pure gold, and it brings these old volumes to life.
Hi, my name's Marta, and I've had the privilege of being a patron and then a volunteer and then a part-time staff member at the Yolo County Archives, and I can attest to how dedicated and hardworking the staff has been over the years to make collections more accessible to the public. I came on at a time when digitization was really taking off, and it's been very exciting to see all the old hard copy records go up online, like the maps and the photos and old land use records. And I highly encourage anyone, not just locals, but anyone outside of Yolo County to check out our collections. They are really growing, and it's a good cause to support. Thanks.
What I love about the Yolo County Archives is that they are the caretakers of Yolo County's history and stories. When I and the other members of the Diverse Histories of Yolo County project were putting together our exhibit on Black performing arts at the Woodland Opera House, we were just amazed at the range and quality of sources we were able to find. Fire insurance maps, newspaper articles, county records, all of it just kept in pristine condition at the Yolo County Archives.
Hi, my name is Nathaniel Guttenberg. I'm the Assistant University Archivist at the University of Arkansas, and I love the Yolo County Archives because it's just such a great resource for the community and for international researchers that want to know more about Yolo County. And it got me my start in the archives field. I started there as a volunteer and then an intern, and I feel like the information of Yolo County is in really good hands with the archivists there. Thank you so much, Yolo County Archives.
I'm Shirley DicKard, and I'm an author writing a book, a historical biography of Emily Hoppin, who was a Yolo County women's activist at the turn of the century. And I rely on the Yolo Archives to help me with my research. I send them questions, they send me back by email responses, or I come in person and they spread out the tables full of all the files and folders and books that I could be interested in. My book is happening because of the Yolo County Archives.
My name is Cecilia and I'm a professor in the history department at UC Davis. I love the Yolo County Archives because it's a place that fosters excitement about history. Since 2024, I've brought my students from UC Davis to the archives to do research and learn about Yolo County history. Most of them had never been to an archive before, yet they loved the experience of working with sources in the collection And they also loved working with the staff there. Some have gone on to become volunteers and interns at the archives. Others have pursued projects on the history of Yolo County, and they've also had a chance to share what they learned at the archives with the public, including elementary school kids. And some of my students have even loved the experience so much that they want to become archivists themselves. I also love the archives because it's a place of community. Through the archives, I've met so many wonderful people: archivists, scholars, community members, teachers, local residents, even descendants of some of the families that we've researched.
The Yolo County Archives is a really important place for me and will always hold a special spot in my heart. I first joined the YCA team as a grad school intern and then carried on after graduation. So it's a place where I put theory into practice as an archivist and a public historian. And my professional connections there turned into friendships, and it was just such a great place to work. Why do I love the Yolo County Archives? Because whether you're an intern, a volunteer, or a patron, you will always have a meaningful experience.
Hello, David Wilkinson. I love the fact that on a triple-digit day in August, you can make an appointment at the archives, go there and chill out in that temperature-controlled space and learn something about our rich history. But seriously, tremendous resource. It keeps getting better and better. I've learned a tremendous amount through the years at the archives. A lot of volunteers contribute. It's overseen by a top-notch staff in Heather and Rachel, super organized, super helpful, and the Friends of the Yolo County Archives. So let's continue to support the archives. Let's continue to grow the archives so we can continue to contribute to and preserve Yolo County's rich history and make new history. Bye.
I love the Yolo County Archives not only because it is an expertly sorted repository of knowledge, but also because it is the first place I learned to do archival research and helped me make invaluable connections that will last me for the rest of my career during my PhD and going forward from there. At the archives, I also discovered what was going to be my dissertation topic, and all of that is due to the kindness, patience, and genuine care from the archivists at the Yolo County Archive.
Another aspect are the people. And we have two archivists here, Heather and Rachel. They are tremendous because you might think, well, I come in and they just know where stuff is and they bring it out. And that's true, they do. But they also observe and help when patrons are looking through the material. And they remember. So they become not just archivists or librarians who are reshelving books and bringing things out. They become actively involved. And that means that when you come in or you phone and you say, I want to research such and such, they have ideas of what other people have looked at. They are curators and they bring it out to you. So it's both the things here and the people here that are really important to Yolo County history. Please join me in supporting them.